My name is Emil, and today we're going to be replacing Leafspring bushings. I'm also going to show you how to save 25% on shock absorbers. So you can see just how worn out they are. Those bolts are not even riding in the bushings. They've worn right through. I'm running aftermarket trail gear leaf springs in my Toyota, and they used some non-standard bushings. I considered using their bushings, but I wanted to upgrade to a sleeved bushing setup. So what I did was I bought an Energy Suspensions Leafspring bushing kit. This is for a 3rd gen Toyota pickup, and it uses the same size bushings that trail gear uses. However, this inside diameter is 19 millimeters instead of 18 millimeters. This means I couldn't even use my original 18 millimeter bolts even if I wanted to. These are the sleeves that they came with, and they're pretty nice. Their frame to shackle bushings did not come with sleeves, and these are actually 18 millimeters. So what I did was I made some 18 millimeter outside diameter sleeves. Both of these sleeves are 14 millimeters inside diameter. So I can use the same bolts everywhere. This does mean, however, I need to modify my shackles. So these are a spare set of shackles I had. I modified these so that I could save a bit of time. So these are already modified to 14. That's great. I do, however, have to modify my frame side on the Leafspring hanger. That's what this is for. I got a little length of this left over, so it should be no big deal. Let's get the truck jacked up and ready to go. So now that the truck is on jack stands, I can start taking it apart. All right. I've had this side apart already so I could figure out what size bushings I needed. So this side should come apart pretty easy. There you go. It's one bolt. It's 8. And there's the other one. So we need to get a screwdriver. There's one at the top. Maybe I can do this. That's not as effective as I hoped. So that's not really very good. There you go. So not bad. I'll at least see if I can clean that out a little bit, push the new bushings in. So that is what the parts look like. I think I got my money's worth out of these.
Well, turns out this is a different size. Bugger. So clearly then, this is going to take some thinking. No. No. You. Oh. Maybe. No. No. Ooh. Yeah. Bugger. All right. That works. Bugger. Okay. So I added some shim stock to these spring eyes to tighten up the fit on these bushings. So now it's time to install them for real. So I got some kind of water resistant grease Not sure how well this is gonna work, but whatever. So I'm gonna put a little bit of grease on here, not a whole lot, because I don't want the bushing spinning in the leaf spring. I want the sleeve to spin. Just gonna put some in this top one as well. I think this is mainly to aid installation, but yeah, I want the sleeve to spin in the bushing and not the bushing in the leaf spring. So that should be good. So first step is this one. Then we take another one from the back. Just like so. So this is the sleeve. This is what I want to rotate when the suspension cycles. So this is going to get a good greasing. So I'm going to take, put a bunch of grease in here first. Back as well. And now I'm just going to coat this. Most of this will probably come off when I put it in, but so that's pretty good. Okay, just like that. See if I can get some in there. Not really. I think do the bolt, I guess. So just have to tack the rest of it in with a hammer. All right. That's a bit much, I think. I think I might wipe some of this up. Don't quite need that much. Cool. Now to do the other side. So I put a little bit of grease in here already, but I'm gonna top it up a bit because this surface is pretty pitted. Since I didn't shore it up with new material like I did again. So just like that. Grab my modified parts and push it in. That didn't quite go in as easy as I wanted. Maybe I'll put some more grease on the other one. It'll go a bit easier. Okay. This is one of the sleeves I made myself. it's going to get the same treatment. So I'm going to see about putting a bunch of grease in here first. Same thing on the back. Grease up sleeve good. I don't have to be stingy with this. I got tons of grease. Come on. There we go. Well, yeah, this is making a mess. Cool. Very cool. Clean this up a wee bit. Very nice. Cool. So now, clean off some of this goo off my hands. So I got my shackle here. So the first thing I'm going to do, put a generous amount of grease on here because I don't want these bolts to seize up inside of the sleeves because that would be very annoying later on. Okay. Cool. So there you have it. One shackle done. Now to do the other three corners. Before I take this apart, I just thought I'd show how bad this side is. Like that's, yeah. I was driving around like this. Anyway, we got it taken apart now. This is what the bushings look like on this side, or this is what's left of the bushings on this side. This piece fell off while I was working on it. I guess that's half of one. if I can get the other half out. Come on. Oop. There's the other half. And on the other side, here's one more half. And yeah. Tops look a little bit better. Not much. I think we need a hammer or something to get those out. Yeah. Okay, I got this side apart. I had originally considered leaving this end because A, it doesn't look so bad. Yeah, I was wrong. This is pretty bad. So, it's one side. That shouldn't come out this side, but it does. So I'm most likely gonna have to modify this just the same way as I did the other end, which I knew. So you might be wondering, so what does it matter if this is loose in here? Couldn't I just bolt that together? Yes, I could. While I was working on this, I remembered something. I remembered when I installed these leaf springs all those years ago, these bushings fell out all the time. And I remember that because it was annoying. Every time I'd get it lined up, oh, they would fall out. So these are always loose. And I think that's why the bushings are so trashed. So no, I can't just put these in here. I'm gonna have to tighten up the fit. So the original plan was to install these sleeves in these bushings, but I changed my mind. The new plan is to use some 3/4 inch bolts instead. Why? Well, the point of the sleeves is so that the two plates can't crush the bushings. But these are welded together. So these plates can't really squeeze together. They can't crush the bushing. I mean, I have to torque these to like 100 foot-pounds or something. And I don't need to torque them that tight, so I'm just going to use a bolt, which is going to make my life a lot easier, because then rather than having to sleeve these holes down to 14 millimeters, I can just open these up to 19, and we're done. I'm going to do that now. Wow, this should be easy, but of course it never is. Now to do the same thing on the other side of the truck. Fixed. I'm not really saving 25% on shock absorbers. This one broke off last year. I do need to fix it, but that's going to have to be its own special episode. Thanks for watching. Oops.